We are at the Special Economic Zones Authority to have a conversation with Dr. Chelule, who is the MD and CEO of this authority, just to understand what are some of the achievements and what are they doing, what are they all about as well. So that conversation happens right here on the Trading Bell Show. Joining him as well will be the Secretary General of the Africa Special Economic Zones to have a conversation because they are here in the country for a conference for 2 days. This is the Trading Bell. Welcome. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. And I just want to start immediately by going international. And I want to ask Ahmed to help us understand first about, we're talking Africa Economic Zones, and we have also mentioned that there's something called Tangible in Morocco. Help us first of all understand so we can make a touch of you and then kick the conversation. What is this all about?
First of all, I would like to thank you for this kind invitations, and I'm really happy to be here in Nairobi together with my brothers and sisters from Kenya, and I'm also delighted to hear that His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of Kenya, will also inaugurate and share some statement during the upcoming event that will take place in the coming days. Africa Economic Zones Organization is an organization that has been set in 2016 with the objectives of bringing together special economic zones across the continent and trying to develop altogether the African SEZ model that would help us to foster industrialization within the continent, to disseminate expertise sharing, and also to leverage on the capacities of the SEZ across the continent. So this is quite comprehensive organization today, with more than 93 members representing 46 African countries. So and we have partners that are supporting our daily initiatives like the African Union Commissions, the United Nations organizations, the African Development Bank, and others. I'm also representing Tangimed, which is a big organization in Morocco. We are a public organization endowed with some prerogatives that allow us today to develop I would say, important project for the country and for the continent.
Dr. Chelule, let me bring you in, and I want you to, first of all, give us the state of SEZ right here in Kenya. And of course, you can share the pride of hosting this African continent. You've brought Ahmed here and his entire team. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Maina. Of course, as a country, we are very proud that we are hosting this event.
Yeah.
First, let me say this. I think operationally we are about 5 years old.
Yeah.
As we speak today, we've got a total of 33 special economic zones that have been gazetted and licensed.
Yeah.
We've licensed some 75 enterprises. Mm-hmm. So we are up and running. We are new but up and running. With the support of His Excellency the President of the Republic of this country, this program has really been accelerated in the last 1 year. And just to show you the impact of his involvement, in the last 5 years, and we have to note that most companies are now in the construction phase. Yeah. They are yet to begin full businesses. Mm-hmm. We've generated some 7,000 employment opportunities for the Kenyans. Out of that, 3,000 has happened in the last 1 year, just because of the leadership of the President. Wow. The investment to date is around 100 billion. Last year was around 5 billion. Mm-hmm. This year we are on course to do close to 20 billion. Again, so the leadership of a country matters in investments such as this. Okay. So this year being our year to host this event, and this is the 9th AEZO conference. Yeah. We are happy that we are bringing in organizations such as the Tangimed, who we consider a premier institution to us, and we hope that through this meeting we'll be able to exchange experiences, best practices, and learn from them.
So Ahmed, let me ask you about, and I wanted to concentrate on the business model, and I wanted to ask you, is there a one-size-fits-all when it comes to these matters? And according to your experience, what's the most successful one?
Well, as of today, the continent comprehends roughly 250 special economic zones, spanning over 200,000 hectares of land that has been dedicated to the development of these different facilities across the continent, and this represents close to $3 trillion that have been invested in special economic zones, hosting several activities: agribusiness, textile, automotive, aerospace, and others. We have seen the development of the special economic zones by implementing different business model, one that have been imported from Asia, one from Europe, and one from the US. But I think the best one is the one that the country will develop by itself, and the one that would fit to the African context. There are three different types of business model for the special economic zones. First one is fully public, so public funding of special economic zones. This is the standard, and this represents, as per our outlook, the one of last year, this represents roughly 40% in terms of number of special economic zones that have implemented a fully public business model. The second one is the private, where some prerogative will be transferred to private institutions and private companies that are in charge of developing the special economic zones based on the certain criteria and certain conditions that has been set by the government. The third one is the PPP model, which is the most popular and which is the most promising one, because there the public authorities can keep certain prerogative and some would be transferred to the private sectors, and this has to come over a very sustainable governance model that would support the PPP. The PPP represent also the 40% and 20% for the fully private business model. So this is how the SEZ scheme is designed across the continent as of today.
Okay. So, Dr. Chelule, what's your strategy, and within that, where do you fit in? But really concentrate more on the local strategy that you implemented.
The three models actually do exist in Kenya.
Oh.
As you know, we've got 9 public SEZs, for which one is run by a Special Economic Zones Authority. And currently, there are discussions by various players to discuss how we can have a PPP model. But the one that has really taken off in Kenya is the private sector-led special economic zones. Today we have 24 of them, and they are the leading zones in terms of development, followed by government. For us as a strategy, one of our strategies has been having a continuous engagement with our investors, the investors in SEZ. Early last year and part of 2022, there were a lot of complaints, issues around special economic zone, especially the market access issues. So we've perfected an art of having to listen. We meet at least twice a year with our investors. And through that process, actually, we've been able to improve our environment for investment. So our strategy is listen to the investors, their concern, where there is need to amend the law, we do. Of course, Ahmed will tell us that there's something called a race to the bottom. Every government is trying to reduce their tax obligation to be able to attract investment. Notwithstanding, we think listening to investors is a good strategy to have them comfortable and have their business doing well, because when these investors invest in a zone, we create jobs. This country on a daily basis produces, or on a yearly basis produces graduates who needs jobs. So this is one way in which you can do this. The other strategy we are employing here is we are on continuous promotion. We do travel around the world looking for investment. We host seminars and conferences. One such example is the one we're having this week. So, and we are having a conversation where we want private sector to play a bigger role in the public sector investment. particularly around the horizontal infrastructure. Hence the reason why the second model mentioned by Ahmed is very attractive to us, the public-private partnerships. We expect to see a few coming out next year and the year after.
Thank you so much for that. Ahmed, let me bring you in. And, you have a bird's eye view of how SEZs are operating as the Secretary General. And I wanted to ask you, if African leaders were watching this conversation, you would be able to tell them on the table some of the challenges that you are facing in general as African SEZs. And I want you to really mention them out so that at least we can see how they can start addressing some of these things for us to see this come to operational in a better way.
I think for the African leaders, it's time to understand that the SEZ is a wonderful tool where they can concentrate the governmental efforts in order to foster the industrialization of the country, bring economic development, and of course create jobs. This is the main mission of behind all that initiatives. The African countries are suffering from different challenges, or are facing different challenges according to the context, according to let's say the resources that have been assigned to the SEZ development. But we can name a few of the challenges that are the most prominent. First of all is the poor infrastructure. So, and not only the in-site infrastructure, but mainly the off-site infrastructure, the infrastructure that would connect the SEZ to logistic hub, to urban areas, to airports, to ports, and that would connect the SEZ to its ecosystem. This is lacking as of today across the continent. Secondly, is the governance model. As of today, we are still facing many challenges in getting the right governance model and getting the involvement of the different authorities and stakeholders around one project that would drive let's say the economic development of the country. Then we have also the issue of getting the skilled workforce. Mainly when attracting foreign direct investment, you should be in the position to align with the international standards and be ready to supply the labor force that would fit to the investors' expectations. So there it's a bet from the African authority in investing in training, in investing on getting the labor force into the level of skills that are required by foreign investors, and how to tailor those training based on the private sector's needs.
Dr. Ari, I know some of the challenges you said already fit in there, and you're already in there because you're speaking generally, but I also want you now to focus on also the achievements that as SEZ here in Kenya you have seen. And probably I know there's potential to what you're already doing in the efforts, but what have you achieved so far?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maina. First, I want to mention so the challenges he has mentioned are quite relevant to us. And I know we also have a common strategy in terms of how to deal with these challenges. He mentioned about the one-stop shop.
That's true.
To us, it's a key instrument within an SEZ.
Yeah.
You see, an investor coming from outside, even those who are from within the country, will want to be in a place where all solution can be provided within a building or a center.
Yeah.
So a one-stop shop operation is such that all government agencies that need to facilitate investment are domiciled within an area.
Yeah.
So you could come in, for example, register, get a work permit, get the custom licenses given to you, electricity connection and all those. We do that. We learn from globally from Dangermet and others, and we exercising that. And this explains why, especially in the last 1 year, we've made so much progress. As I mentioned earlier, since our inception, we have had some 100 billion Kenyan shillings going into our zone, generating some over 7,000 job opportunities.
Yeah.
Having the right structure, right governance is very important. the office of SEZ received the first substantive CEO almost a year and a half ago. And with the country leadership focusing on SEZ, we've been able to witness 3,000 of those jobs of the 7 in the last 1 year. Or rather, in the last 1 year, which is the year before with the current one. This year we're on course to do 3,000, and it's our belief, according to our strategic plan, that by the year 2027, we'll have created some 26,000 jobs. Okay? We've had at least 4 very active zones, this being Konsa, Nairobi Gate, Tatu City, and Terrific, taking leadership in areas we didn't expect to pursue. For example, the financial services and logistics has really grown. Right now, the interest in data center is quite phenomenal, and that's the future. We're trying to position Kenya as being geostrategically located between the Far East and the Far West. Therefore, we're able to serve both markets within a daylight. So the achievements are slowly kicking in. I must say this, that at this stage, most enterprises that are in the zone are in construction phase. That's why the numbers in employment are low. Sometime next year towards the end and the year after, we expect some explosion in terms of job opportunities and further investment. What we've noted about foreign investors is that the moment they get smooth entry, get smooth startup, they make reference. So it's easy to influence the next investor. And not to forget, there's something we observed in our Ndogokundu SEZ, which is in Mombasa. We did an expression of interest last year early. We wanted to test the market to know whether or not there would be interest in that zone. And we got expression of interest to the tune of 460 billion. And this is just to say, if this zone is ready, we are willing to invest this amount of money. That is big. And of course, we are on the tail end to get those operations going on. So the achievement within the last, let's say, 3 years has been very good for us. We hope we'll continue with the same spirit, and with the amendments which are currently in the Biashara law in the floor of Parliament, we'll create some more conducive environment. The rest of the amendment we hope to complete next year, and that will really set the stage for complete environment that we believe will be globally and continentally competitive.
Excellent. So we don't have much time now, but I want to close on the highlight of this conversation, which is now the upcoming SEZ annual meeting, the African one. And Ahmed, I want you to bring us into that. I want to ask you briefly the objectives and what you hope that everybody who is going to attend, the participants, should expect.
The Africa Economic Zone's annual meeting is the flagship event of the organization, but it's also the opportunity for us to meet once a year together with our community and also get our partners involved on conversation, discussions, debates, and panel discussions. This year is definitely a success. It's already a success because we are in Kenya, because we have strong local partners, and we are very happy to be here together with you guys. In terms of participants, we are expecting close to 500 participants. More than 200 are coming from different countries. So this representing 58 countries that will be represented in that event. Not only the African, but we have also European, American. AEZO is the founding member of the Global Alliance of Special Economic Zones. So we are also supporting the idea that our members can benefit from this international network in order to attract foreign direct investments and learn from other countries and other continents' experience. We are also expecting more than 30 experts to share ideas and discussions about topics that represent major interest for the SEZ community, and more than 62 African SEZ have already confirmed their presence for that event. So just by those announcements, we could consider this event as a big success.
Yeah.
But of course, the presence and the involvement of His Excellency William Ruto, the President of Republic of Kenya, is going to be, let's say, a very good sign, a very good achievement also for our organization.
All right, thank you so much. Let's also talk local. Dr. The conference is here. What is your expectation and especially your message to participants?
So our overall objective is to market SEZ as the zone to invest in.
Yeah.
Obviously, we position these conferences work with the best. Kenya ranked one of the top countries in terms of innovation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our energy is around 93% renewable, so we are green.
Yeah.
We are good in learning, obviously.
Yes.
The president keeps saying this is the home of humanity.
Yes.
So we are saying work with the best, work with SEZ. Okay.
Yes.
In terms of what we are expecting as a country, there will be topics which Ahmed has mentioned. For example, we'll be talking about skills for the special economic zones. We're talking for financing of special economic zone, whether with government or by other partners. We're talking about how to put up intelligent infrastructure, for example, the data centers of this world. We are talking about regulatory environment. We're talking about governance. We hope through this exchange we'll be able to hear how the various speakers, in their experiences, wherever they come from, will address those topical issues and come up with some nice report and way forward. And look forward, obviously, to next year's 10th anniversary of AEZO.
Yes. And what's your message to any potential investor locally who probably is wondering, okay, this sounds interesting?
For local investors,
Yes.
the primary role of special economic zones is dual. Number one is regulate and develop. In development, in both cases, our intentions attract and facilitate, and we have to underline this word, foreign direct investment and domestic direct investment, FDI and DDI. The business is also open for both local and foreign.
Dr. Kenneth Ahmed, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
There you have it, work with the best. That's the line for this conference, and we can't wait as well to ensure that you as an investor, potential investor, as well get to learn about SEZs and what benefits they carry along for you and even for the economy at large. Thank you so much for your time. I leave you now with the markets.